Good morning, guys and gals. It is the 10th of October of 2022. This is You're Watching Life with Yosef. This is your host, Joe. It's about 8:45 in the morning. Because my sleep is so out of kilter, I woke up at dark 30, had my breakfast, had a big cup of coffee. The coffee in the room that I'm bringing, I brought a little pot and stuff, is really the way to go. So I had my nice coffee, not the cheap, crappy instant that some of these hotels pass off. I drink my coffee. My mom got me on this a few years ago. I drink heavy whipping cream in my coffee. I don't drink half and half unless I'm out and I don't have a choice. But oh my God, I'm telling you people right now, if you like coffee, buy a little heavy whipping cream and put it in your morning coffee. And I swear to God, if I'm wrong, I'll eat my shoe. I'm going to Pyramid Lake today. It is a very sacred spot for the Washoe tribe. They were here long before the European invaders. I'll talk about it when I get there. So, and I'm gonna probably need to get my my Wikipedia up and running so I don't babble incessantly. So that's I probably need gas. I'm in Sparks by now. I'm fairly sure. I'm going to turn north on Pyramid Way, and going to be careful here. You got to watch your speed. Boy, they don't play around in urban Nevada or any town. You don't speed in the school zone. You don't speed in town at all, and especially with California plates, I don't need the welcome to Washoe County notice. So 2.5 minutes of babble, first opening shot. I'll either spice in some road footage or not with some music, and we'll see what's next. Well, I haven't been out here in a month of Sundays. Now, the first time I came out here, none of this stuff was here. There were a few ranchettes on some fairly good-sized lots. And then one year, Charlie and I rode out here on our dual sports on our Kawasaki 650 KLR 650s. And there, where the Walmart is, as you come into this neck of the woods, was a chain grocery store. And now, as you can see on the film as I kind of pan through, the gas station was about a mile or a mile and a half off of Pyramid Highway. I had to turn right off of Pyramid Highway, drive a mile, turn left, drive down, U-turn, drive back, turn right, turn left, and then turn right into the gas pumps. I have no idea which planning philosophy thinks this is an efficient use of people's time and the land. It is just, I get having the, a main, God, there's a fly in here, a main arterial like I'm on right now, 2 lanes each way, divider in the middle, with then access into each of the housing tracts. I get that. We had that in Stockton. But this is just, how do you not have gas right there? So anyway, gas was $65. I paid $5.99 for mid-grade. And we're going to get back out of the hellhole here, get back onto Pyramid Highway, which is Nevada 445, and we're going to head north, and eventually we'll be out in rural Washoe County, out in God's country, which, God willing, if everything works right, you'll get a little road footage of with some music. Our next stop is at the Pyramid Lake Overlook, and then we'll drive on into Sutcliffe. So there you go, and we'll see what's next. Now we see the right on the highway gas station. I looked at my mom's GPS here in the car, and it didn't say it was here, so way to go, GM. Standard of the world used to be the Cadillac motto. They were truly the engineering standard of the world. They were one of, or if not the first car, mass-produced car, that you could interchange parts amongst cars and still have them run right. This was back in the 1900s. The brand started in 1903. And then in 1909 or 1910 or somewhere, they merged in when Billy Durant formed GM. And, well, it used to be the standard of the world. And now, well, they're not. What an embarrassment. Anyway, I've got fuel. We're moving on, and we'll see what's next. Our next stop on Nevada 445 in Washoe County, Nevada, finds us at the Wild Horse and Burro Center. And these wild horses and burros are federally protected. The herds are managed by the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management. There is and has been some controversy about how the BLM manages the population of these wild horses and burros. You get too many of them and it gets to be drought, and you have to cull the herd, and not everyone likes that. Nature is a cruel mistress. I don't know what to tell you guys, but in the movie, The Misfits, let me get back in the car and we'll press on here. With Clark Gable in his last role, he died either shortly after the movie was done or right around the time of release. I also believe, I'm fairly sure about it, it was also Marilyn Monroe's last movie before she was murdered. Well, let me retract that because I don't know that for sure. So let me say that she died under very suspicious circumstances. And if I think about it, I'll link in the description to a guy named Michael Franzese, who was a capo in the Colombo crime family in New York City. And he made it, he ratted, now he's a speaking tour, he has a vineyard, and he's doing pretty well for himself, God love him. And he tells edited stories about that life in the mafia. And recently he made a clip that alluded to that one of these mafia heads that Marilyn was allegedly in a physical relationship with had her killed. And I'll link to it without stealing his content, but I think it was Sam Giannotto, and she was also romantically involved with JFK at the same time. And you know, there's a broader thing about RFK being the Attorney General, the increased pressure on organized crime. You know, there's a whole lot more to it than just a simple, you pissed me off and I'm snuffing you. But it's a pretty interesting clip. Anyway, I forget where the hell I was going with this. Oh yeah, the Misfits. Anyway, as we see some beautiful scenery, it's about 9:35 in the morning. As I just ramble on forever. The co-star, not Clark Gable, not Marilyn Monroe, excuse me, but the third guy who drove the tow truck and owned the house out in the rural that they were staying at, and he had the crush on Marilyn. Part of him and Clark Gable, they would go out and round up wild Mustangs before they were protected, and bluntly they sell them to the dog food companies. So that's the little tie-in here with Northern Nevada. A lot of that movie was filmed in Dayton. I'm not going to really talk about it now because I'm not in Dayton, but the next time I'm in Dayton, I'll talk about it, link to a video. That's not mine. So we'll see what's next. I had to overdub this because I just rambled so incessantly. The first time I rode up here on the Sabre by myself, and I crossed over the little ridge right here, and I pulled off, and I looked at this, and I was just awestruck. And I am very rarely awestruck. Now I'm overdubbing this also because there was a guy giving some type of talk to about 12 or 14 people, and I didn't want to interrupt his presentation. So Pyramid Lake is a sacred place for the Pyramid Lake Paiute sovereign tribal nation members. And it is just such a beautiful, beautiful place. Now we're getting back on the 445 right here, and I'm gonna go all the way into Sutcliffe. So that's pretty much about. We're gonna get a little bit more of the view here. It was just an incredibly beautiful day. It was maybe 80 degrees at the hottest all day. So I'm gonna cut this here, and we'll move on to the next scene. Okay, hopefully some of the road footage you took as I drove through town, I wanted to come back and actually run some more film. You can't really see it, but the pyramid of why this is named Pyramid Lake is right across the lake from us. There's Lahontan trout that are in this lake that are tremendously popular for fisher people. If you like to fish, you need to come here. Now my memory's a little bit failing here, but I can't remember if this is where we used to stop and use the bathroom and buy a soda, or if it was the Sutcliffe Inn up the street that's now and has been closed. I think it's here. Now, let me get out of the sun because I always like to look at the sun, dumbass. One day, Rich and Charlie and I were out here on our dual sports. Rich had a Yamaha XT600, and Charlie and I had Kawasaki's KLR 650s. And we came in here, and they had a few video poker machines, and literally 2 or 3 minutes right before we showed up, somebody won the Royal Flush jackpot. So it had reset itself. Actually, I retract that. We had come in, I looked, we went to the bathroom, we bought our stuff. I looked on the way out because I look at everything, and I saw somebody had one when we were in the bathroom. Now, I don't know how much they won, but the jackpot reset itself, and I asked the clerk gal, I said, hey, did somebody just win? And she said, yeah, we paid them off. So there you go. So there's also camping here in this town. Again, the campground is more RV type deal, but it's run by the Paiutes of the nation, and you pay them like anywhere else. So we're going to head east on Nevada 446, and our next stop in any type of town is going to be the little hamlet of Nixon, where I think, and we'll find out for sure, is where the Paiute Nation HQ is. So we'll see what's next. We're still in Sutcliffe, but I wanted to point this little dirt road out because when we get to Wadsworth today, which is also in Washoe County, Nevada, Wadsworth is a historically significant town in railroad history. And I'm going to talk about this road that we're looking at right now as I scan so you don't get bored. It used to be the railroad tracks that started or ended, terminated. The terminus was at the division point, and that's called the division point in Wadsworth. Now, I'm going to talk about that when I get to Wadsworth, because I want to see if I can find where the old schoolhouse used to be, and we'll talk about that then. So here's about another little clip of the lake. God, it's beautiful, but we're pressing on, and we'll see what's next.